Hey guys, a little bit of a different video here for you guys today. And I come from a unique circumstance here where we used to be a Nielsen ratings household here. And I know, like, I made a comment on my community tab the other day, just talking about ratings. And I know some people say some things. And I got the understanding that people don't fully understand how the Nielsen ratings work. I admit I didn't fully understand how they work till we got picked to be part of the Nielsen household families, whatever they're referred to as. Anyway, I want to go through the process, how I ended up becoming a Nielsen family household here, or how we, not just me, and what the process is, how Nielsen gets their ratings, because it's a very unique process. And I think, like I said, I have a feeling that a lot of people don't really fully understand what goes into it, what you get from it, and just how, like, those ratings get reported and why they say what they say is watched and by how many people. So anyways, let me tell you just how this started. We used to get, or I used to start with me. I used to get mail where it would have like $2 in it, or sometimes $5, saying like, here, fill this out on your weekly listening habits of radio and television. What do you watch in the evening? What do you watch in the morning? And it was just very simple, of like, just like, when do you most often watch TV, just stuff like that. And just, sometimes it was check the box, sometimes it was fill in the name of TV show. And then it would evolve to something where you get $10 and there would be a booklet in it, which I later found out would be for what they call sweeps periods. That's the yearly, quarterly ratings, where the Nielsen company does more research when they send out these booklets to households to fill out. And this is list exactly what you watched, what day, what time. Go into as much detail as possible, how long you listened, or listen to this radio station, how long you listen to this show, et cetera, et cetera. And then we got a letter saying, congratulations, you have been selected to take part as a Nielsen household, where you are going to have meter devices on your person to give us data research and calculate the viewing habits of Americans nationwide. And so I was like, okay, and you had to confirm it. And I'll go into what we got here. Hold on, let me wrinkle. Basically, you submit yes, or I forget how we confirmed it, but anyways, we confirmed it. They send you these kits. Now, I found that, like, one of the most common misnomers is that people think, like, this is the way it used to be done, that there is like this meter box that you put on your television that you're watching, and it has a number on it. It's usually 1 through 6. I've seen some of the old boxes, and you basically select if you were in the room. If the dad was number 1, the mom was number 2, kid number 1 was, the oldest kid was number 3, the second oldest kid was number 4, whatever. You would select when you're in the room, so that way when you look at the TV, the box has literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on it, and you'd have it lit up with whoever was in the room watching television at that time. When you leave the room, you turn your light signifier off. The most current, and from what I understand, standard way that they do it now is what's called a people meter, which is what you see right there. And you see how, like, you can see how they're holding it, they're wearing it. This dude's putting it in his pocket. That lady, funnily enough, looks very similar to my wife, which is just totally ironic, or terrible use of irony. Coincidence would be more like it. And there's Lenny Kravitz before he became a rock star. So anyways, you confirm with them and they send you this kit. This is a people meter kit, and I'll show you what inside. There's a welcome kit. I have my wife's welcome kit open over here, so we'll take a look at that. We don't have to take out mine. But this is the basic thing with it. This people meter is plugged into your house, and this thing right here, you get 2 of these. It's a silent beacon that you plug into 2 separate parts of your house. What this beacon does is it communicates with your people meter, which you see right there. That's in its charging station. This beacon will let you know when you are watching stuff from your house. So, it might have difficulty establishing where your information is coming from. Like if you're watching something from the internet or something, it might not have as fine-tuned of a way. And I'll get into a little bit of how they fine-tune what you're watching, when you're watching, in a little bit here. But anyways, if the people meter reads this beacon, it knows you're at home. No matter what you're watching or listening to, it knows you are watching this from your home residence. Now, how it understands when you're elsewhere, like I said, I'll get into that in a second. But this is basically everything it comes with. That's the meter itself, the charger, power cord, the 2 beacons for your house. Like you put one upstairs, one downstairs. You live on a flat level, single level house. You put one on one side house, one side on the other. Headphone adapter, which it splits you can kind of tell there, it splits your thing off. So that end, the top of the, sorry, if I could point to it, the top of the T would plug into your people meter. This would go into your device, like your phone or whatever, and then that could be plugged in and go into your listening earbuds. If you're Bluetoothing stuff, it wouldn't have a way to obviously understand what you're hearing, which is a dilemma that I don't know how they're getting around that now. So anyways, this people meter here, you can't really see it, but on the real one, it has like little slots on it for like the sound to come in, which I assume that's where the sound came in. But anyway, this people meter is worn on your person, like you see these people. You put it in its charging station. The charging station then lets it link up. It hooks up just basically to any wireless data tower. As long as you're in cell phone range of anywhere, it will connect up to it and transmit the data. It only transmits data when you have it in this charging station. So everything that you listened to, watched, any data that it recorded, it doesn't transmit back to the mothership until it's plugged into this charging station. So, that whole day when you're wearing it, you just clip it on. I always just like put it on like a belt loop or like somewhere on my waist or sometimes even in a pocket. It has a device in it where it detects motion. So you have to move at least one time within, I want to say it was like 30 minutes, or else the device would turn off, because you get compensated for how much time you wear this. And to get around that, because you figure people just, take it off and just, I'll just make some easy money. Just set it down on the counter and then I'll put it back in the charging station at the end of the night and I'll just make some easy money off of it. To get around that, they have a motion detector, some sort of device in there, whatever you want to call it, apparatus, that knows whether or not you're wearing it. So you have to move at least one time within like a half an hour to reset that internal clock in there that lets you know whether or not you're wearing it on your person or not. As to like what I said before, how this thing gets the data and how it knows where, a lot of people don't understand this. And again, I didn't understand this till we became a Nielsen household, and I read through all the paperwork and explained how they get their information. There is a silent beacon or a transmission algorithm that you don't realize because it can't be heard by human ears, but a device like this can. It's basically a soundless to you beacon that comes out and it lets you know that you're watching Verizon Fios, HBO at 8 o'clock, this show, and it transmits that information back to Nielsen once you charge it in. It lets you know if you're streaming content from a Fire Stick, Apple TV, etc. Every transmission device, at least everything that's logged with the FCC, and to basically be sold to the public, you have to be filed with the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, has to have that beacon broadcasting in order to show content to you. So even YouTube has its own beacon that is sent out, and it lets you know that you're watching YouTube. Now, granted, obviously it's probably not going to say like Mr. Beast was the most watched show or whatever, but it'll still know that this person was probably just watching YouTube. It's not going to be specific enough to let you to know that you're watching a Mr. Beast video, just to give an example. So anyways, yeah. Now, like I said before, there is calculations on how much people make. Oh, and one other thing, there's another thing in the booklet here, just so you don't confuse like who has which persons. You would see your name on this, and oh yeah, there's the little slots on the top there that pick up the sound. It also emits sounds if you lose it. it'll have the name of the person. So like I can't accidentally take my wife's beacon or people meter and she doesn't take mine, etc. So that you get the right one. So it's getting the data for the correct person. So like even if you're driving around in the car, it'll pick up that beacon is transmitted from what Nielsen says every 2 seconds. So it's something that the device is going to pick up. And excuse me. Like I said, you get paid based on the amount of time that you listen or that you wear the device and that it is listening. Breakdown of the payment is here, and you get up to every 3 months, it's $75 to $105. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot of money for 3 months worth of work, but there is perks on top of this. The reason why there's a spread of $75 to $105 is 75 is basically the bare minimum listening time. The more time you listen, the more money you make over a 3-day period. Now, honestly, just to wear something on my waist for 90 days and get a $100 bill out of it 3 months later, that's not that bad. But there is also bonuses every single week just for wearing it as well. So you can get an extra $15 per month. There's bonuses for anniversaries. There's giveaways they constantly have. All said and done, and they only let you remain on this program for a maximum of 2 years. That helps create variety of results. They don't want someone to have this for 20 years to get the same results. They want to move it on to someone to refine their demographics, gender, any number of things to get a wider range of results. And that helps establish the authenticity of this and the legitimacy of it, because I know people always hear that like, oh my God, ratings are figured out by just, it's like 1,500 households that have these metering devices and that figures out the ratings. Like, yeah, that is what it is. It's like, I want to say it's still around 1,500 households that basically garner these people meters, and that equates to the data that you see for television ratings. Like, yeah, it is. But it's a process that's refined where it's like, it's not like 1,000 people in New York City and 500 people in the rest of the country. It's specifically designed. You can't volunteer for this. You can't sign up for it. And that also benefits the company because you don't want people getting swayed because, there could be, HBO could be paying people to, run out and sign up for the Nielsen company and we'll give you HBO Max for free, etc. And another thing, and they stress this highly, is once you're a part of a Nielsen household, you cannot make any posts on social media about it. No Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. And I even started making posts of this once our Nielsen run ended after 2 years. I finally came out and I told some of you guys I made some posts. Like I made a post on Twitter. I'm sure I made a post on YouTube as well. And they don't want you doing that because, like I said, HBO Max could be like, oh, you're a Nielsen household. We're gonna congratulations, you've been selected to get HBO Max free for 2 years. And so is Showtime giving us a 2-year subscription, and Disney Plus, everyone. It's so weird. They all gave me 2-year subscriptions for free. Wow, that was nice of those companies. So like, yeah, I fully understand why you have to keep this anonymous. And I imagine they were tracking my social media to some extent because they stress that it is immediate ejection from the program, and fully understand why. It is immediate ejection from the program if you mention anything on social media or you're getting too mouthy about it publicly. I guess like it didn't really say anything about that, but I imagine like you can't just go out and like announce to the world on some sort of public forum, I'm a Nielsen member, and it gets shown on television or something. I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, I'm sure like if you go much more than social media, they can still kick you off the program as well. All said and done, I'm trying to think like because my wife and I figured it out, like what we made over the 2 years. I want to say it was like around $3,000. It might have been a little less from the bonuses and whatnot and hitting the peak totals and whatnot. And like, for 2 years to get an extra couple grand just to wear a little device and put it on a charging station, maybe use $10 of electricity over the 2 years to like recharge the device at the end of the night. Yeah, I thought it was worth it. I liked that I'm helping, that I was helping to craft, if you will, the the viewership numbers and what you see in the ratings each night and whatnot. Yeah, it was a very interesting process to be a part of. I don't know if any of you out there have ever been part of it, or if you're part of the new generation that has these people meters, or if you are currently, you can't tell me. So if you are currently, right, I like cheeseburgers with spinach dipping sauce. Anyway, I don't know. Say, I love the Dallas Cowboys. Anyway, let's not do that. That might get you banned from this channel. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, it's a unique thing that I don't think a lot of people know about. Got my pretty shiny dome again here. Yeah, again, I didn't know much about this before we became a Nielsen household here. But yeah, it's an interesting process, and it was something that made a couple pennies from that wasn't that much hard to do. If you get asked to be part of it, I fully recommend you do it. It's no genuine hassle. People often come up and say, I always had a line, and I would always tell us with a straight face, if anyone asked what that meter was, I told them that it was a Thetan monitoring unit that I got from the Church of Scientology. They want to make sure my Thetan level is pure before they accept me in. It's just part of a new thing they're doing right now. And I would tell that with a straight face, and people would believe me that like I was, trying to get into the Church of Scientology, and this was some sort of meter. And you know why people believed it? Because the Church of Scientology is totally crazy, and that is like not far-fetched that they would do something like that. There'd be some sort of Thetan meter. Anyway, now's the point where I find out, actually, Archfiend, they do have Thetan meters. What are you talking about? All the Church of Scientology people wear them, dummy. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this. It's something a little different. We just wanted to get you guys, a little information that you might not have known. It's not often that you cross someone that knows something that you might not. Anyway, so anyone out there, if you've ever been a part of the Nielsen family members, what was your experience like? If you're in it right now, again, say, go Dallas Cowboys. Other than that, that's all I can pretty much think about this. I know I'm going to turn off the camera and be like, I forgot to tell about blah, 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 blah. I know people right away think that, like, why would you wear some sort of monitoring device? Don't you worry that the government is hearing, like, every word you're saying or what you're doing? The way I look at it, I'm not, like, financing a drug cartel from my basement and doing any sort of illegal means. So, like, what do I have to hide if they're listening to me? They aren't. Nielsen gets audited all the time to make sure the data they collect isn't any sort of for any nefarious means, like hearing people like crapping on the toilet or peeing in a bucket, whatever. So yeah, I trust that it's legit, but I understand people that'll be like, I don't want Biden hearing what I'm saying. Oh, no way. They're not going to find out about our next January 6th. No, okay. I understand that. But anyways, if you're not running a drug cartel, you don't got anything to worry about. We didn't, honestly, we felt nonetheless more private or violated wearing these things. So anyways, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about this. Good luck to everyone out there if you get picked to be a Nielsen household. Anyways, one of the rare people, like, this is something that only like maybe 2% of America may ever be selected to do in their life. And I got picked to be that. I understand why, because I'm so freaking awesome, right? That's why they picked me. And that's the thing. There's no real rhyme or reason from what I could tell and what my research has showed that how Nielsen picks it. They try to remain as random as possible. They try to get new people from same demographics, same regions, to see if the results are similar to those people or different from those people, etc. But anyways, it is what it is, and this is how we figure out who watches what and who listens to what on the radio. That is all.